and I want to relate. The first dream, I am standing in what seems to be a community center. The lights are low and I sense the sounds of quiet conversation. There's a group of people standing around and sitting around, and maybe 20 or 30. I see the President of the United States sitting with them. And I look over another group standing and I see a senator, a U.S. senator, standing with them. And although I recognize them in the dream, I don't recognize them when I'm awake. But that was my sense of it. There was no Secret Service around. There wasn't anything particularly exciting going on. And it seemed to me like this was just the citizens' government. In other words, there wasn't all the elite power gathered. It was just the president was another citizen. That was my impression. Anyway, I woke up. The second dream I had, this time it's nighttime. I'm in Washington, D.C., and I'm walking on the street, and I know I'm near the White House, but I don't know where it is. I feel like I'm supposed to go to the White House, and I see somebody walking down the road. I ask him, do you know where the White House is from here? And he says, oh, it's just up a little bit farther on your left. And so I go, okay. Well, in the background I can hear noise of people protesting or something, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to get involved with that. So I continue on, and sure enough, I see the White House, and it's fairly dark. I walk up, I'm able to walk right up to it, and for some reason I have a key to the door. So I unlock the door, step inside, and it's completely dark and silent, and I'd say it's empty. I just sit down in a chair and just kind of wonder at the whole thing, and then I woke up. The third dream is daytime. This one maybe not so governmental, but I'm driving in a city and I'm trying to get on the freeway on an overpass, and I see the on-ramp, and painted on the ground, like you would see a stop sign, maybe painted stop, it says home. And so that's where I want to go. So I get on that, take that on-ramp, and as I'm driving I notice that on the right side the sky is clear and blue and beautiful, and the center is getting a little cloudy, but to my left it's just super, super dark, just like black, just like it's painted black. On the fourth dream, I'm standing at a roadside overlook, looking out at the ocean, I guess. That's where it was. And Joe Biden, who I do recognize, is getting ready to climb over a wall, and he apparently is going to climb down some kind of cliff or defile down to the beach, and he's going to negotiate, and there's a ship I can see offshore in the distance. And he's apparently going to meet somebody from that group, and I see his staff standing to the left of him over on the side, and they're saying, and they're not saying anything. I say, well, is somebody going to go with him? He's, old man. He doesn't even have a bottle of water. He doesn't have anything. He just had a briefcase, and he was going over the side and going to get ready to go down. And they just looked down. They didn't respond to me at all. And I woke up. Okay, I had to drop out on my tape, so I'll try this again. This is the fifth dream. I'm in a castle, a European-style castle, and I'm up on the upper level, up on the walls, looking down at the center courtyard, and I'm with a group of other people who I think were probably the resistance, because a group of people come in, and they look like they're the people that be in charge, and the guy next to me says, well, that's the architect and we have to kill him. And I'm going, what? Okay, we have to kill him? So this is a different dream for me. So he has a bow and arrow. He gets up and he tries and takes a shot. He misses. He hands the bow to me and says, here, you try. And I said, well, I'm not any good with this, but I felt like I was supposed to try, so I did. I took a shot and missed, so I looked around and I figured I could move around on the wall around the courtyard a bit from up above and get another shot, so I did. I got around there, and then I looked down on him and I took a shot, and I don't know if I hit him or not, because that's when I woke up. but the architect was not anybody I recognized. Let me make that clear. It's not. I don't think it's a person, and I'll talk about the interpretation or what I think the meaning of the dreams is shortly. But just so you know, I wasn't thinking about killing anybody. Not my style. So, all right, that's enough for now. Okay, well, this is the second part, and I'll give you some thoughts about the dreams I just spoke about. It's been, like I said, nearly 2 years since I had the dreams, and I've recently was thinking, actually it was in about a year ago, I was thinking about this, and I realized the dreams didn't make sense in any particular order, because the first one is about community center, which is very quiet and peaceful and everything's good relatively, and second one is the empty White House. So I didn't quite understand the significance of them, and but while I was thinking last year about this time, I realized that God, who is outside of time, can show us the end from the beginning, and when I look at them in that way, then they begin to make sense. So let me go back through them briefly and talk about what I see now, or what I believe they represent. The castle and the architect, well, the architect, as I mentioned earlier, I believe represents a spiritual force or being that is active in this country. And that dream I had before the Afghanistan pullout, and I don't think it was an accident that we pulled out and the Taliban came in, or an accident that we left $80 billion worth of military equipment, or that Americans were left trapped inside Afghanistan. I don't think those were an accident. First I could write it off to incompetence or just bad intel, but I don't think that lowly of our intel. I think the crisis at the southern border in our country is not an accident. There's intentionality behind it, that they want these things to happen. The way the COVID crisis was handled, again, was intentional. It wasn't just about stopping the disease and protecting people. It was about accomplishing some goals in terms of controlling people, really, and getting us to be more compliant. And when you have a disaster, then people, of course, tend to be more compliant. So I think that's been an ongoing process that's been going on by the powers that be. I'm not even going to point fingers at anyone particular, but there's lots of people that want to rule the world. Anyway, so the first dream about the castle and the architect is about that, the release of chaos, and what the result of that, because it's a strategy, I believe, a spiritual strategy. The second dream was about, if I go in reverse order, was the beach overlook, the ocean overlook, with Biden climbing over the wall to go down and negotiate with somebody. And maybe the operative word in that is that he was going down, and then the staff was standing by and say, we're not going to help him. And that seems to be playing out politically right now. And this wasn't intended to be a politically partisan dream per se, but there seems to be pretty partisan feeling in the country right now. So I don't know what that means, but my guess is it means he's going down, and we use the expression they're going down. I think that Biden is going down. Now, whether it has to do with the ship offshore, whether there's been compromises with him or not, we will see. Third one is the road home, where I was at the overlook, or I was on the freeway trying to get home, and I saw the clouds, the clear skies and the clouds as I was trying to go home, and I just think that just implies that there's a difficult season ahead. And I don't have any details or any sense of what that represents, whether it's food shortages or the inflation, which has been also part of the chaos that's come upon us the last year. So I'm not sure what that meant in terms of its meaning. The third one, or the second one, then again, was the empty White House. So if Biden goes down, and I didn't have any sense of who would replace him, and I didn't recognize, it was empty. So that just tells me there may be a period of where we don't have a lot of government. We don't have really government leading us. Now I don't know who will be leading us, whether it'll be chaos. I did hear protesting or something in the background when I was there, but the White House was empty, which shows a vacuum of power to whatever end. I'm not sure. But maybe the good news is the first dream. The first dream was the community center, where the president and a U.S. senator and a number of other people were just gathered and having quiet conversations, and there just wasn't a sense of, well, these are the most powerful people, and that we must, that they have to be isolated and protected. And no, they're citizens. We're all citizens. We're part of a republic where the citizen has value. And anyway, that's my current take on the dreams. If you want to respond in the comments, I'd be interested. Like I said, I'm not trying to be terribly partisan. I'm obviously not happy with the way things have been run lately, but we'll leave it at that. All right, God bless you guys. Have a great day. Thank you.